All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh
Yahushai,
Shai, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well. Shalom, to the brothers and sisters scattered around the four corners of planet Earth that have returned to the obedience of the scriptures. All right, I'm the brother Arak, and I got the brother,
Tasharakwa, Amak.
Tasha, priest with me. All right, and we wanted to do a sit down real quick, going into the news. All right, going into various things that are happening here in Babylon the Great. All right, because as the scriptures say, we're supposed to be occupied in prophecies, and when you're occupied in prophecies, you're going to be paying attention to the things going on the planet Earth. All right, you're going to have a certain level of situational awareness. Okay, you can't be walking around, ignorant. You can't be, you know, um, not paying attention to what's going on. Scriptures talk about being circumspect.
Yep.
All right, so there's not a day that goes by. All right, to where you shouldn't be, tapping into the spirit of prophecy and what's going on, because there's a lot going on.
Kind.
Okay, here in the States, domestically, but also overseas, internationally. Okay, and all these things are indicators as to what spirit you should be in. Okay, there's a lot very very serious times that we're in. It's not time to be playing. It's not time to be lollygagging. All right, it's time to lock in and to prepare your spirit for what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to do on earth. You have anything you want to open up with?
Uh, um, uh, I'm just going to pull this in Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Because this is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has the prophets doing in these days. It's the Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai wants you to be, always going through the scriptures, to be edified thereby, but to be correct on what to bring out. Verse 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave us what's not understanding that's been passed down from prophets and scribes of old unto these times. We got it.
Done. Okay, so we're gonna go through some articles in this lesson. An important thing to remember. All right, I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna read this real quick. Get a milk scripture. All right, let's start here in Job 9:24.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" All right. So right now, as we speak, we understand that rulership was given unto Esau. Esau is the wicked. Okay, pursuing to Malachi, the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to say like the fourth verse. Okay, Esau, sleazy E. Okay, the small hats. All right, which is Amalek through the spirit.
All
right, they're the ones, pulling the strings, and you got to realize too, the ones that you see on the news. All right, those are the front. Those are the front guys. Okay, DJT. All right, Netin, you know who, right? Those are figureheads, right? They have particular sway and things like that on their respective level. All right, but there are people behind the scenes. There are there's a
hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy. Okay, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we can see that.
Yeah.
All right, we can see through the bullshit. All right, we can see how they're manipulating the media. All right, And we can also see how they're purposely destroying this current system so that they can bring in the next system,
the system to come.
the system to come,
You know,
the
because
NWO.
Yahweh Shemel Shai prophesied these things as well. All right, so just getting what you're laying down, it's like a Wizard of Oz.
Right.
All right, whenever they pull back the curtain, you saw a little man playing with the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know it's the same thing in these times. It's just more intricate.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Yep. So I'm gonna get straight into it, man. I want to read a little bit of this article. All right, because as the title goes into, okay, plagues, shortages, all right, and economic turmoil, all right, those things are getting ready to increase on the planet Earth, all right, and the reason why these things are getting ready to increase is because Esau is trying to funnel everybody into the MOTB system.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to put the squeeze on everybody. All right, what's the saying? Pressure from above, pressure from below.
Yep.
All right.
That cattle squeeze.
Cattle squeeze.
To administer medicine.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So all these developments that we see with AI, for example, okay, which we're going to get into, all right, with the Iran situation and basically the intentional destruction of the global supply chain, right, with that, all right, and then also, okay, the plagues that Yahweh Shemel Shai is getting to ramp up, all right, your way of life is getting ready to change. Everybody's way of life is getting ready to change, man.
And we love it.
And we love it.
And we love it because that just means the kingdom's coming that much closer.
Right.
But
yeah. So in this article I got on NPR.org, I'll start here. Okay, it says why the true water footprint of AI is so elusive. Okay, and it's going to basically go into the fact that they're not really disclosing the true data on just how much resources
is being used.
Right, is being used by this AI system. Okay, which is basically the brains of Esau's technocracy.
Yep.
You know, so it says water is a precious resource. Should we be concerned about the amount that generative AI requires to function? Okay, and it says as the tech industry has grown, so too have data centers. Data centers are enormous buildings filled with hundreds of thousands of computers that store cloud data and power artificial intelligence. It says to keep up with computing demands, data centers use electricity and sometimes chilled water to keep those computers cool. Okay. Now, an important point, to remember is Revelation 13 and 16.
Yep.
I'm gonna get that real quick, because I want to make a point. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. All right, this is the famous, this is the infamous, micro C hip the chip scripture, man.
OTB.
And you gotta think, why are these data centers being built? Okay, they're being built so that they can harvest and house the data that's going to be tracked or gathered by the chip.
Yep.
And it's really that simple. Yeah. There's something called, what is it called? Biometrics.
Biometrics.
All right.
That's the start of it.
That's the start. I'm gonna look up the definition of that too. I'm gonna read this real quick. It's Revelation 13 and 16. Okay. It says, I'm gonna start up at verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, and the image of the beast is, again, what we're reading about, what we see Esau actively creating in the form of these data centers, AI, all right, which is all connected to the chip.
Yep.
You know, the elders and apostles on down have been spot on since day one.
Con.
You gonna make a point?
Hey, and so like back in the day, whenever one of the first big data centers was even put online over there in Utah, that was one of the big data centers, and it's been it. I don't want to get far into it because you're
Good,
going to go into it,
you good.
but it was set up to house all the data, and information that people are using right now on their phones, to keep a category of everybody. So he likes to put everybody in categories.
Yep.
All right, and he's really trying to predict what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to predict what you're trying to do, or what you're going to do in so many different ways, but it's all going to come down to captivity, enslavement under the B system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Esau wants, which goes into control.
Yep.
But
I'll read something for you. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4. All right, I'll start at verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means." Right?
The day should not come.
Right? Let me read this again. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means." Right? Because you're going to have people, you already have people worshiping AI.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got people claiming that AI
is
God, right? It's going to be the solution to all these problems that Esau created.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So he creates the problem, and you think that he also creates the solution? Come on now. Let a spade be a spade. Come on now.
Yep.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Yep. And as things get tighter, all right, as things get tighter, and when I say tighter, I mean as the economy in America goes to shit, all right, and people start losing their jobs,
yep,
and kids start looking at their parents like, "What we gonna eat?"
Yep.
This system that a lot of people, right, this system that people are acting like they're in opposition to on the internet right now, that energy is gonna shift.
Yep.
All right, that energy is going to shift, and they're going to start realizing, okay, shit, if we want to get out of this situation,
we need it.
We're going to need it. Go ahead and just bow down.
Yep. Give in. Give in to your fleshly desires.
Yep.
Because right now, these people are already giving into it, just like they did for the CBIT.
Right.
They didn't buck up against it, even though it was far-fetched in between. You could see through the bullshit. All right, at that time, just like now, you can the elect can see through the bullshit with AI and how it's going about it. All right, everybody wasn't given the spirit of understanding, to see, the wisdom, of Yahweh Bashem Shai plaguing these people. All right, because they were set up to give in to the beast system. But you got it.
Yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is a God." So, and I brought that out because you had made a point about basically Esau trying to play God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But like in that scripture that you just read, it said that he sitteth in the temple of God, proclaiming himself that he is God, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So the temple, you gotta go back into that 1 Corinthians chapter 3, I perceive Salakia. shit, it's trying to evade me. But going into how we are the temple of the Most High, you know,
That's First Corinthians 6.
yeah, you know, and uh, uh, he's trying
You want me to
to
read that, bro?
buckle shot.
Okay. This is First Corinthians chapter 6 and verse. Let me see. I want to say.
No, he that defiles the temple of the Most High, him Most High shall surely destroy. That one.
This is for. Well, I got one. I think I got what you're talking about, bro.
Like,
It's 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. It says, "What know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own."
because we are what Yahweh Shai created us to be. So he's the one that is over us. All right, but Esau wants to intervene or intercept. You know who we are and try to put him in us to be above what the Most High has created. You know, like he has done with all the food, the water, everything that the Most High created. Esau says he can do it better. Right?
Right. The whole point of the sea hip is to basically control your mind and your spirit.
And that's you got it. You got it.
And that's what Yahweh Shem Shai does. Like when the scriptures in Job talk about when you sleep at night, the Lord, planneth your instructions, real paraphrasing.
So if the instructions.
Esau is basically trying to hack that process. He's trying to say, well, no, I'm going to plant the instructions. I'm going to control your spirit, and the things that you do on planet Earth. And it's all through the sea hip. Okay, I'm going to go back to this in Revelation 13 real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Okay, and let's get this term causeth. All right, and he causeth all, Strong's G4160. It says, let me see. To make, to produce, to construct, form, fashion. All right, so when it says he causeth all, all right, how is he going to cause it all? He's going to cause it by basically a controlled, like the elder always says, a controlled demolition of this current system. All right, that's how he's going to basically construct the NWO. And those systems are already made. They're already prepared. All right, they're just waiting on the people's minds to be primed and ready to receive it. Which we there. I mean, look at these people. If you going through a McDonald's drive-through, you gonna take the damn sea hit, man.
Yeah. I got the precept I'm talking about.
Yeah,
this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 17. It says, "If any man defile the temple of Yahweh Shai, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are." All right. So since we are the temple, all right, and Esau is trying to basically defile the temple of Yahweh Shai by implementing a sikh, all right, and a karagma to cut into the flesh to basically what's that oil that says that you are his property, all right, and really we are the property of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, because one, Yahweh Shai died for us, which is the elect. Now Esau doesn't care about all these other nations. He wants the elect. He wants to, cut or sever the ties with the Most High to the elect. But you got it. So
I'm gonna go back to this article, read a little bit more. Okay, so back on the article on NPR going into the AI usage of water. All right, it says data centers are enormous buildings filled with hundreds and thousands of computers that store cloud data and power artificial intelligence. To keep up with computing demands, data centers use electricity and sometimes chilled water to keep those computers cool, right? So not only are they using water, but they're using electricity, energy. It says the result, a surge in energy and water use that has caught the attention of scientists and lawmakers. Okay, so as we get closer to the rollout of the chip or the C-HIP, okay, there's going to be a direct impact, all right, economically on the price of energy, the price of water, which is also connected to what? The price of food.
Yep.
Okay, the trio, food, energy, and water. All right, and people are already hurting.
Yep.
You know, especially Jake.
Because,
okay, you make a point.
Well, there's several points to be made in that because he's not going to use seawater, like the ocean, because the ocean is vast. Right? There's water all around us. He's going to use the fresh water, the same water that you drink and that you need to survive. Okay, he's going to use that to cool his data centers. Okay, and he's not going to use the top water. He's going to use the water that's in the earth. Okay, and that's why it says that if the Most High doesn't hurry up and come, there will be no flesh saved. All right, because he's taking away everything that a man needs to survive. I think that's in Sirach chapter 39. The 7 things. So like it.
All right. Yeah, you want to find that? I'm gonna keep reading.
Go ahead.
This is It says under the Biden administration. And remember, Biden is the one who made that famous statement: "You will rule."
Yeah.
On the C-HIP. That famous when he was having, I don't know if it was a Senate hearing or I forget the exact hearing that it was, but Biden got that famous scene where he basically was prophesying on the left-hand side about the MOTV rolling out. Okay, it says under the Biden administration, Congress commissioned a report on data center electricity consumption led by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. The 2024 United States Data Center Energy Usage Report forecasts that by 2028, U.S. data centers will consume as much as 12% of the nation's electricity.
And that's a couple cities. All right, that's a couple large cities.
Yep.
Yep. But you got it.
It says, and this is it, and you all got to take these numbers with a grain of salt because it's more likely closer to 20%. Who knows? It says, but the environmental footprint of AI is notoriously difficult to measure. So they're telling you 12% is a rough ass estimate. Okay, so what does this mean? More than likely, this means we're getting ready to see energy be rationed.
Yep.
Energy is going to be rationed, right? Water is going to be rationed. Food is going to be rationed. All right, and we haven't even got to the situation over. We haven't even talked about the Iran situation. We ain't even talked about, the fact that the United States is going towards a war economy. All right, which we're gonna touch on that too. Okay, but let me read a little bit more of this. It says there are no federal nor state regulations for AI, and no legal framework requiring tech companies to disclose their energy and water consumption.
And the reason why is because whenever Trump got in office, he put a ban against them regulating AI. He didn't want them to come in and try to regulate AI or the things to operate it. What's he paraphrasing?
Yep. Let me look this up. Let me look something real quick. Um. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Let me read a little bit more of this. Okay, I'm gonna read this part again. It says there are no federal or state regulations for AI and no legal framework requiring tech companies to disclose their energy and water consumption. Okay, and this is where you bonehead niggas, man, that still planning on going to the damn voting ballot box. You got niggas on the internet still talking about the next election.
Oh man,
Man, listen, man. It's a fucking game, man. It's WWE. At the end of the
literally.
day, at the end of the day, these financial institutions, these banks, and these corporations, their agenda is going to be pushed regardless of who's in office, man.
Yeah, because the people don't elect shit. They just have the imagination that they control, their living, but we don't control shit.
Yep, it's an illusion of choice. It goes back to the Second Thessalonians 2. Esau be playing God.
Yep.
Esau wants to give these people the illusion of choice, which is really a concept from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Yep.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, it gives everybody an illusion of choice, when in reality, his will is being forward no matter what.
Regardless.
You know?
But
So I'm going to go to the next article, unless you have anything. This
you got it.
is on Yahoo News. All right. It says, the title of the article, it says, Trump administration held talks with Ford and General Motors to produce weapons amid Iran war. Okay. But hold up. I thought we were getting ready to make peace talks. I thought we were getting ready to I thought the war was getting ready to get wrapped up.
I thought 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. Trump's been saying 2 weeks for the past
right.
4 months.
Right.
So we don't know what to believe, but never trust thine enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Yep.
So like his iron rusteth, so does his wickedness.
Yep.
All right, so you see what's coming up. They're trying to get everybody back in that World War II, gear up war mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But you got
this is I'm gonna start reading. It's not a long read. It says it's a 2-minute read, but I'm only gonna read the first couple of paragraphs. It says the Trump administration has held talks with American automakers such as Ford Motor and General Motors to increase weapons productions amid the ongoing military conflict with Iran and the conflict in Ukraine. Okay, now let me read a precept here in Joel 3. Okay, because this is all prophecy, man. This is all a build up towards World War III. All right, and the armies of the earth. All right, and of America being gathered into the valley of Yehoshaphat.
Yep, that is right.
All right, because if they're making these weapons, that means they're going to be niggas holding these damn weapons, man.
And somebody has to use them. Yeah, cunt.
Yep. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. All right. It says, the header of the chapter, it says, the nations will be judged. All right. And the Lord is going to judge the nations through World War III, through all these plagues and all these miseries that he has prepared. Okay. This is Joel 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, and this is a mandate, man. This is not a. That's what people get messed up about the scriptures. When you read prophecy, the Lord is not suggesting things happen, man. The Lord is mandating things happen. The Lord is decreeing, okay, showing what? That he's the one in control of all these things taking place. The Lord is the one manipulating the minds of the kings of the earth, all right, of these major institutions to do the things that they're doing, okay? It says, verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Now, I want to make a point on this verse.
Go ahead.
Right? Because a plowshare has to do with what? food production.
Yep.
A pruning hook. Matter of fact, let me look up the definition of a pruning hook.
Yeah.
It says a cutting tool used for pruning. All right. Consistent. You got a point? No, you good.
Going into cultivating or to making your crops look good and be able to grow wide and strong for harvest.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yep. So plowshares, right? Pruning hooks into spears. It says, "Let the weak say I am strong." All right. So if food production, all right, what like the article said, what Ford and GM, right? If manufacturers are switching from producing products to producing weapons, okay, and the same with food because armies got to eat, soldiers got to eat. That means that there's going to be less. Like this goes into the famine. That the Lord has prepared.
A lot of people are going to die.
Yep.
And they don't care. Because the food market has been hit. With all these plants blowing up. A while back. All the crops. They're not getting water. They're not getting fertilizer. It's going to be a hard harvest season this year. So the farmers say. All right. Everybody is basically living off the provisions that they have in their house right now. The stores aren't getting food like they were getting 10 years ago or 20 years ago when everything was in abundance. Shit is in disarray.
Yep. And like you said, people are living check to check.
Yep.
People don't got food stored up.
Nope.
And even people that do got food stored up, they're gonna go through it a lot faster than they think.
Yep. 100%. Because these people that are online, like these preppers and everything, showing their food storages and everything, you're storaging up food for someone else to come and take it.
Yep.
That's it. So hey, and that's prophecy. It's just like whenever Jake was in captivity. Jake was, storing up all that hard labor, food, storage, cotton, all that to give to somebody else. Well, it's the same thing, but it's reversed.
Yep. I got a couple precepts.
You got it.
I'm gonna read this here in 2 15. All right, and really, I could start. I could read the whole thing, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start at verse 12. Okay. It says, "They that till the ground, or no, Egypt." Verse 12. It says, "Egypt shall mourn." All right, America is the new Egypt.
Yep.
Okay.
Babylon
Spiritual Sodom in Egypt, Babylon the Great. It says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashem Yahshua shall bring upon it." All right, and again, that word foundation is key. Okay, because the foundation of the nation is basically the basics, the basic necessities, the things that every nation needs to operate: food, water.
Yep.
Okay, sane people. You know what I'm saying? Infrastructure, basic things. All this is going to shit here. Ain't nothing left here, man. Okay, the roads are fucked up. People are fucked up. Right? Excuse my language. All right. The supply chain is being broken down. All right. And as we're going into, water is we're running out of fresh water.
Yeah.
We're running out of gas.
Oil. Yeah.
Oil.
Yeah, the oil. And they're trying to say, oh, we got the oil from Venezuela. That is thick, heavy crude oil. We can't use that in our cars.
Yep.
Okay, that's like diesel. And not a lot of people have diesel here. All right, but all this is about to come to a head. All right.
It says, verse 13, 2 15, 13, it says, "They till around mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail, and with a fearful consolation." And that's taking place now. You got farmers on the internet right now making videos talking about they can't get their hands on fertilizer.
Yep.
They can't get their hands on things that they need in order to produce their harvest.
Ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Verse 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Okay. And that's why the scriptures tell us to arise ye and depart.
But this is not a rest.
We trying to get out of this worldly mindset, this worldly system. Okay. What's that scripture? We shall no more stay
on
the hand.
Babylon,
Right.
Because they're like a broken reed. That the hand.
I want to say that's Isaiah 10.
Little bit
Let me
paraphrase.
see real quick.
And I found that scripture.
Okay, you want to read it?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 39. I'll start at verse 25. It says, "For the good are Salakia. For the good are good things created from the beginning. So the evil things for sinners." It says the principal things for the whole use of man. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly. So the sinner, they are turned into evil. All right. So all those things are the principal things that we need to survive on this earth. Yeah. All right. Especially for a man, how about Shimi Al-Shai, to live and to sustain himself on this earth. But Edom's about to take all that away, because he's trying to fabricate his own pseudo blessing.
Mm-hmm. What was that scripture again? Do you call it?
Sirach chapter 39. You can start at verse 26.
Sirach 39:26. Yep. And when you go into that list, all those things now have been tainted.
Yep.
They've all been tainted, or Esau is just straight up trying to monopolize on it.
Yep. 100%. You know,
it's a damn shame, man. But we need to get the hell up out of here. Okay, I'm gonna finish this up. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 15, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Right? Because whenever you have a squeeze on basic necessities, you're going to have
pushback,
conflict. You're going to have people invading one another. Right? You're going to have an increase in crime.
Yep.
Right? An increase in, confusion and just all type of madness, man.
Well, you're going to have an increase of confusion in Babylon the Great anyway, because it's the land of confusion. Okay? Everybody doesn't have the will, strength, and power you have by Shemi Al-Shai to direct our paths. Okay? But you got it.
This is verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power."
Yeah.
And a great example of this is if you've seen the TV series The Walking Dead.
Yep.
You know how basically everybody's a goddamn zombie. You got zombies trying to eat you alive. But for the people who do still have some resources, they just go into war with one another.
Yep.
They worse than the goddamn zombies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And with that movie and all these other movies, you can see the breakdown of society.
Yep.
All right, because cops aren't going to try to protect you. If somebody's trying to move into your territory, and a cop isn't going to try to do that because they're out for their own selves and their families.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about you. All right. Same thing with your government. Now these governors, these Senate, all the whole fucking tower. You know, all these motherfuckers, they don't care about you. They're trying to fill their own pockets. They're trying to make sure that they're okay. Okay? So they're going to leave the people out to dry. Or what's that? Cannon fodder. They're going to be cannon fodder. All right? They're just there to get shot.
Yep. And you're going to have a breakdown of society. So I'm just speaking as a man. When shit really ramps up here, you're gonna have a lot of cops that, for one, get drafted, right?
Yep.
You gotta get sent off to the war.
Yep.
And then again, you're gonna have a lot of cops resigning, right? Because they're privy to the things that the government is getting ready to do. You're gonna have a lot of cops resigning and just choosing to just prepare their family.
Yeah, you got a lot of people in the army right now that's doing that. All right, they're like, oh, we see what's to come because we were at the tables while y'all were talking about it.
Yep.
All right,
meetings.
So like
briefs.
That's and then Pete Hegseth's firing generals, you know, top 4-star generals because they're not with the shits. All right, and since they're not with the shits, he's gonna let them go so he can forward their agenda. But you got it.
Yep. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, for they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able."
Martial law.
Yep.
Martial law is going to be implemented. You know, people are you're not going to be able to go into a state. They're going to lock down the state highway, you know, to where you can't enter into another state or another city, all right, because they're trying to protect their own, all right, and really, you shouldn't be trying to go into another city anyway, because you know the cities is where everything's going to happen, you know, fast and quickly. All right, so your best bet is to try to get outside the cities, you know. But that's only through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai if he wants you to survive.
Right. Scriptures talk about in the next chapter, be as pilgrims upon the earth. All right. When that time comes, you know, and, you know, obviously every brother's lot is going to be different, but the Lord is preparing us to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? To be ready to move. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep going.
You got it.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 17 or verse 18. And this is the point I wanted. It says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Okay, so this is what's coming. This is what's upon us now. All right, how fast it happens is up to Yahweh Shemi Shai, but we can see that this current system is actively being destroyed right in front of our face
and dismantled.
Okay, and people can only this economy right now. All right, people can only go so much longer.
Yep.
All right. Before they have to start, you know, busting out stimulus and things of that nature. And the more, if they do go that route, that's just playing right into the MOTB system.
Yep. Because they're going to put your check on a chip, you know, and say it's the only way we can pay you because they can't regulate cash. Cash is outside of the system. They want to know how much you get, where every dollar goes. Okay, they don't want you to have a second form of income that's not on the books. Okay, so, but that because they want to use that usury, you know, that interest, and they want to use that predatory lending. You know, if they give you something, they're gonna want everything in return, including your soul. But you got it.
Come on. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth." Okay, so we're coming into time, and really we've been preparing for this ever since we came into the truth, to stay upon the Lord. Okay, let me get this word "stay." All right, this word "stay." All right, we get into Hebrew. The root word is sha'ain, and it says Strong's H8172. Bear with me, my laptop is slowing down. All right, but it says to lean on, to trust in, to support. All right, to lean, to lie, to rely, to rest, to stay. Okay, so prepare your spirit. All right, prepare your spirit to be relying on the Lord, and we're in that mindset now. But again, the way of life that we're living right now, okay, the ability to go to the store, the ability to, run errands and do particular things, that's getting ready to change. All these things are getting ready to change, man. And if you haven't been preparing your spirit, then you're gonna
get caught out there.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught out there, man.
Because, and I'm just gonna make one more point. Going into that, relying on Yahweh Shemi outside, because here we've been relying on Yahweh Shemi outside for our daily bread. Because He gives us the positions to work in. He gives us everything that we need. Okay, physically and spiritually, because your spiritual needs to get fed too.
Yep.
All right, and that's through these scriptures. Okay, but Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has never turned to a man that was that they gave up this world to be like, nah, your labor of love doesn't matter. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has always been there. As we sacrifice, He increases. Okay, so I wanted to pull this Sirach chapter 2 verse 10. It says, "Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai and was confounded, or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? Or who did He ever despise that called upon Him?" All right, and that's a question, but yet it's already been answered. It hasn't happened. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has made good upon His word towards His elect. Everything that He has said, everything that has been written down, has came to pass, and we see that coming, in the future to happen. Everything's going to come to pass that these scriptures talk about. But you got it.
Yep, that's it, bro. I got a closing. Do you have anything? I got a closing precept.
Yeah.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, and I'm gonna read 6 and 7.
My man.
It says, "But without faith, it is impossible to please Him." Right, and I'm just gonna say this through the Spirit, like for whatever brother tune in and listen. Our confidence level is getting ready to be boosted. Like the brother said, the Lord has been providing. The Lord has been, making situations, creating, situations for brothers to operate and to endure. And He's going to continue to do that. This is Hebrews 11 and 6. It says, "But without faith it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him."
See?
You want to make a point?
See, how about Shemi Al-Shai reward you, for the things that you give up on this side. All right, it's like the apostles, the apostles, of old. All right, they gave up everything that they had for a reward, not in this life, but in the kingdom to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's something to analyze and to look forward to, because they look forward to the kingdom to come, to where they get their reward, where they can sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we, like in part, is in the same mindset, because we came in under their labors. All right, but you got it. I want to go on a tangent.
Hebrews 11:7, it says, by faith Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became the heir of righteousness, which is by faith. All right, and that's the key right there. That whole precept is fire.
Yep.
All right, but we're looking to come into that state of being heirs of righteousness, which is by faith. All right, we're not in the times to where you're gonna be able to keep. We can't keep all the laws, statutes, commandments now.
Nope. All 613 laws, statutes, commandments.
How the hell are you gonna be able to keep them when Esau's coming down with great wrath? You're not.
I mean,
you're just gonna have to demonstrate your faith, all right, and your your loyalty to the crown, so to speak, to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
I mean,
That's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is looking for right now. Okay, so that's pretty much the point. I believe the point we made. Lord's willing, the lesson was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well. And shalom to the next lesson.
Shalom and shalom.